Howdy folks, this is Sean and welcome back to my workbench. This evening I've got a box sitting here in front of me. It says Viking on it. And we're drinking Arizona green tea. People say, oh, that stuff's, horrible for you. It's just as bad as soda. Well, it doesn't have as much caffeine in, nowhere near as much caffeine in it. Not as much sugar. Derives some of its sweetness from honey, and it has antioxidants where soda doesn't have antioxidants. So I'm not trying to say it's super healthy, but it's I wouldn't say it's worse than soda. So anyhow, what do we have here in the box? It is made in the USA. First thing right there. DLE-200B, Delta Lima Echo 200 Bravo. It is a Ringdown generator, simulator, line simulator, central office in a box. So what do we got here? Alright, I recognize this because I have already printed out. Pretend I had color ink. For me, this was in color, and this is red. Just one moment. All right, this was in red on mine, or this is red on the PDF version that I've downloaded off the website. But there was a date on here. Yeah, April the 3rd. 2018. Alright, so it's the same revision. So I'll just go ahead and set that back up there. I guess I didn't need to print it out, but tried to come prepared. Alright. Okay. There is the box, the unit itself. It's got a little hole here on the bottom of it. I'm guessing that's probably for them to test it. They've probably got a test jig that they set this into, and it probably has some pins on the bottom, probably to power it. It's my guess. It's just power. I don't know. We'll see. We'll open it up. We're supposed to open it up. And nice heavy power brick here. VikingElectronics.com has their phone number on it. Class 2 transformer. 120 60 hertz in. 13.8 out. AC out. 13.8 volt AC. 1250 milliamps, so 1 1/4 amp. It's AC, that's interesting. Set that out of the way. So, the DLE-200B line simulator produces two-way communication between standard telecom products such as modems, fax machines, key systems, PABXs, and standard single-line telephones. The line simulator can also provide salespeople with a cost-effective, easy-to-use method of conducting on-site demonstrations, eliminating the need to locate phone lines, which disrupts the customer's phone service. The DLE-200B line simulator provides precise dial tone, DC talk battery, and standard or distinctive ringing. The unit also provides a CPC brake on hang-up. Alright. There's some other notes here. I'll put a link to this as a PDF down in the comments. Yeah, everybody always points like that. It can be used for demonstrations, ring-down applications. That's what we'll be doing, ring-down application. Shows 2 phones. Yay, that's says up to 2.6 miles. That's pretty cool. It shows fax machine and computer. I actually do have a US Robotics 56K modem here. I've got 2 of these bad boys. The other one's in the house, but I'll be playing with those later. Emergency applications, prisoner phone applications. I know that Viking, I've seen a bunch of those whenever I was looking on their website to order this. Saw where they make the phones that prisoners use to talk from one side of the glass to the other. So it has some dip switches on the front here. Long, short. So these switches here on the front, switch 1 and 2, are used to change the ring cadence, and switch 3 will attenuate the audio level. So if you're using this to talk between 2 modems, you can attenuate the audio, and it increases the fidelity and the bandwidth. And switch 4 immediate ring down, so that it's immediate talk and no dial tone, no wait, no ringing, just straight through. So probably won't be messing with 3 and 4. I won't be needing. I might, whenever I'm playing with the modems, have to attenuate it and see what that does. See if it actually decreases packet loss by attenuating that. And then right here shows the switches on the inside, which I've already read over that. I really don't need to mess with any of them. I'm going to leave them the way they are. The first switch is dial tone or no dial tone. I'm going to leave the dial tone on, which is its factory setting. I'm leaving all of the switches inside in their factory setting. Second one is ring until answered. You can switch it and it will only ring 5 times. 3 is enable CPC break after hang up. I'm not sure 100% what CPC break is, but we'll figure that out. Number 4 is 2-second CPC break time. That's the factory default. And I guess it's just a blank, no audio to tell devices that it's hung up. So factory, it has a 2-second break. You can switch that to give it a 150 millisecond break. Again, that's those kind of options that it has for no tone, instant communication, the attenuation right here, 150 millisecond CPC break. That is whenever you're using this, you use those options whenever you're wanting to use it to talk modem to modem for data transfer. And then pin 5 or switch 5, dip 5. There we go, dip 5. It's 2-way ring down, which is again is factory default. You can have it also be one-way ring down. These are often used for phones outside of security doors. You pick up the phone and it calls the security desk. It's a one-way ring down. So you would flip that switch for that. So I'm not messing with any of those. I have these printed out. So I went ahead and looked through that, and I'm not going to mess with that. Let's see here. I'm digging for tools that I should have had ready. Oh well. Main reason I want to open this up is I'm curious what the little test port's for. So we'll see how they do that. Alright. There's some little nylon barrels. Those, well, I'll tell you what those really look like. Hold on. Got a bag of them here somewhere. They are label barrels. There they are. Made by Panduit. They are I'll have to take these to the work van now that I've opened the van. Yeah, they look similar. These are for labeling wires. You slip that over the wire, and then you have a label that wraps around the barrel and seals it around the wire. Really great for using for labeling fiber optic cables, is what I use them for primarily. But two little spacers, nylon spacers, right there. I don't see anything holding it in. Oh, it's just the phone jacks through the front there. Oh, there's, watch out. Some little rubber washers that went between those spacers and the board. Viking Electronics, Hudson, Wisconsin. And this little front display, when I hold it up to the light, is red. It's very dark, but it's red so that there's a little LED behind it for the busy light. Cool. Not really much on this board. There's the 3 solder blobs holding it up to the light, and those go to this right here, holding it up to the light. Let's see where those go. That runs around down to there. Well, I'll tell you, I'm really not sure. I think I'll look it up and figure it out. I'll put it in the comments or put it in the video description. I'll tell y'all what it actually does. But bunch of inductors on it. Really, that's it. Nichicon, just a bunch of inductors. So put that back together and we'll demonstrate it working. And yeah, and go through the ring cadences. So I've read through those two, the descriptions on them, and I'm probably going to use the factory default, which is just long, 1 second on, or no, wait a minute, 2 seconds on, 4 seconds off, 2 seconds on, 4 seconds off, which is is the standard, just American ring. But then it has short, long, short, 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 long, and then long, long, and it's 1 second on, 200 milliseconds off, 1 second on, and then 4 seconds off between it. So that sounds like the European ring cadence, which I have a phone right here, which is an Ericsson, which I can make it ring. I'll wire it up and make it ring. The handset's not working though, so I can't talk on it. So anyhow, plug in our power supply. Okay. I don't really need this. It's the first two dips. This is all I'm really going to be playing with here. So there's one of our phones. And I've propped it up on a little piece of angle there to help. See, you see it still wants to, oh, there's the busy light. It still wants to fall forward, but I prop it up there to help hold it. There's our Model 500. Fine. There it is. All right. She rings. It's pretty quiet. Cool. And yes, there's definitely there's ringtone before. All right, so let's see if yes. So you've got a 2-second break, and then it returns a busy signal. After this hangs up, after I hang up over here, it gives a 2-second break and then returns busy signal. So let's hear what the ring cadences sound like. So the first two digits on this dip switch are what we change. We're currently in binary 0. So, and that's what we were hearing, which is just 2 seconds of ring. I think it was 2 seconds of ring and 4 seconds off. Yeah, 2 seconds on, 4 seconds off. So. And you can actually see the little red LED pulsing there as it rings. Alright, so that's the standard ring. That's binary 0, so we'll switch it to binary 1, which is short, long, short. So half a second on, quarter second off, 1 second on, quarter second off. So yeah, half a second, 1 second, half a second, with quarter second pauses. Alright, so that was binary 1, 2, short, short, long. So again, it is half a second, 1 second, with quarter second pauses. It's actually it's 20 millisecond pauses, so 2/10 of a second. But half a second, 1 second, with 10 or what was it? 20 millisecond, 200 millisecond pause. Sorry. All right, and then our last one binary 3, long, long. This is the one that should sound like the European ring cadence, or to an American, what is the European ring cadence? But it's 1 second, 20 millisecond pause, 1 second, and then a 4-second pause between rings. Alright, and that sounds European to me, but I tell you what I think will make it sound more European is if we have an Ericsson do it. So this is an Ericsson model 1951. This one was produced in 1953. But it's a model 1951. And its handset, it doesn't work. There's this cable's bad. But you can get replacement cables for those, and I think I'm going to order one to get this phone working. Alright, so with the American model 500, the dial face is part of the base, and whenever you take the cover off it stays, but the Ericsson, it comes off, and you have and they give you there's a generous length of cable here that allows you to set that out of the way. Rather than talking about the 500, let's open the 500 up and take a look at it and compare the two. You're going to see, so I put this cable on here. It is a really nice supple fabric cable. It looks very period. It's actually a cable from an old mouse, and the ferrite bead is still on here, and the ferrite bead just works perfect to hold it in as a strain relief. But what I've done is kind of janky, but I've never claimed to not do janky stuff. It's mine, and I'll do it how I want. So here's what I was saying. The Western Electric Model 500, when you take the top off, the dial remains, but with the Ericsson, the dial comes away with it. And on the side of this little capacitor here, there is a clip, a little metal spring clip, and that conveniently holds the cables, and you just pull those out as you pull the cover off, so you can set it aside. But here's where the wires come in from the handset. I've ohmed them out. I don't have continuity from end to end, so I'm just going to replace this cable. I have put some jumpers in right here to convert this from what was 4-wire operation to convert it to 3-wire operation. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's 2. I don't know where my screwdriver handle is, although I do have this one. This one will fit. And there's some leftover wire under this terminal from where I forcefully ripped the cable out earlier. I needed the cable for something else, and rather than removing or loosening all 4 screws again They are captive screws in both of these. The screws that release the bottom plate from the housing are captive in both of these, and there are brass thread inserts that those screw into in both of these. That is the one thing I will say for both of these. This is a horrible example. This is rusted. This is sat in water. I've never really seen most Model 500s look better than this inside, but they are built so well, and the Ericsson as well. They're built very, very well. They really were built to last. So I was going somewhere else with that, but oh well. Okay, good thing I keep my ear open to listen for the camera when it beeps at me to say, hey, something happened. Battery ran out. Luckily, I have 2 of them. So, that means that there is one charging right here. Oh, little light's flashing. She's charging. Alright, so I was going on and yammering about these things. But how old they are, but what great condition they're in, just because they were built so well. And they really were. Both of them. I mean, I just wish we could build stuff like that today. Why can't we build stuff to last today? And yes, I was stripping those with my fingers. Just fingernail, grab it, yank, snatch on it. Alright, in this cable, blue represented red. Or blue, yeah. Because it's normally red and green. But this happens to be some old data cable from a modem of some sort somewhere. And it's not red and green, but it doesn't matter because the connector's see-through, and I'm able to look through and see what to hook up where. Alright, that's nasty and dirty. While I'm in here, I should go ahead and snip out. So this is how I managed the last cable. I actually tied it through a little hole in the transformer up here, a strain relief. I'll do this better. I'll actually get the proper cable. There is a fork right here. It matches this fork here and that cable that slides in there. But yes. But we'll take that for now, the way I've done it. And for the British cadence on the British phone. Alright, so first, let's hear. Alright, so I didn't really point this out in here. So this is the American Western Electric. I'll cover this phone in a different video altogether, but because this one's getting lengthy enough as it is. Alright, so heck, let's have them call each other. Let's get the modern phone out of the mix. Modern. Yeah, that's not modern. I mean, comparatively speaking, it's pretty modern. But, so. That's the Ericsson ringing. Here's the Western Electric Model 500. Well, let's do it right. It just sounds a little more lazy. Just a, yeah. I'll get there when I get there. Alright, and then the Ericsson. Now, I wish I could make it do that. Ring one phone with one pattern and the other phone with the other, but that is not an option. Anyhow. But again, the issue is that I can... Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, so this does not work. So we'll go ahead and get it back out of here. Wow, I've just made a huge tangle of things, haven't I? There we go. Ah, and forgot that I haven't screwed the bottom of these things back together yet on either of them. Alright, I'm going to put a little knot in this, and we'll leave it in here because there's no need not to, there's no reason to really take it out. So I was struggling earlier because I didn't have, I was having a hard time finding these cables. Just your standard POTS cable. And they're your class, you know, you're just your classic telephone cable, household telephone patch cable. And RG6, no, RJ6, I think it is. Registered jack. Couldn't find it. So I had my crimper. I had my crimper all day. But I couldn't find my, this will tell me, 6. Yeah, my RJ6s. I couldn't find the RJ6s. I could find the RJ8s all day, but not the RJ6s. But I finally found them, and that's how I made this nice little black fabric coated cable for the 500 here. That's really it. I picked this up to use in the house. Well, between the shop and the house, I have some other devices. I'm going to shoot another video. I'll play with hooking a couple of modems up together and seeing what I can do with those. We'll pull this out here just because it's a neat little oddity type thing. Hey, let's go ahead and screw the bottom back on this too. What do you say? We'll use slightly more comfortable screwdriver for it this time. Now, the one thing I will definitely say that we got right, the Bell Labs engineers, or Western Electric engineers, whoever you want to say, I can't remember his name. I do know the name of the guy that designed the 500. I can't remember it. Anyhow, one thing he definitely got right over the Ericsson 1951 is this feature right here. See this shape I'm making with my hands? I can't, there's no handle here. So you can pick up the phone, but you, and it is narrow enough here that you can pick up the base and carry it around. Model 500 has a little hook right here that you're just able to grab the phone and walk around with it. And you know, you've got this short little cord, but it's okay because you can grab it and pick it up off the desk, and as long as your cord here is, you can walk around. And that was just fine, and it worked just fine. The Ericsson does not have that little handle on it, so they definitely got that right. Now, then you have wall phones. You have this phone here that's mounted to the wall. It also has a short cable, and that's not very convenient, I know, but that ugly dingy cable is not this phone's normal cable. This is. So I just changed it out for the video because this is shorter, but it is kind of dingy. We'll go ahead and put this nice pretty one on here. And here we have great distance, yeah, good range. I can walk around with this. Alright, now I'm actually going to hold this up to the microphone and see if you can hear it. Hello. Hello, this is a test to show you the audio. I'm simply holding the handset up to the microphone on the camera, as you can clearly see. So I'm not sure how well it's going to come through, but it works pretty well. So there's that. But yeah, that's the normal cord that I have hanging on this, and this just this normally hangs on the wall, and that's the cords that just how they've made these cords are old, and they design them so well to be so durable. It's there are videos. There is a video about Western Electric and the testing and durability testing that they do on these phones here. I will put a link down in the description for that as well, because it is just amazing, the quality. This right here, I pulled out. This is another. All of these are Western Electric. This phone right here is the Central Office test phone, and the Central Office, or CO techs. That's CO short for Central Office. CO techs would go around and go up to the switches and hook into them and sit there and test them, you know, to be sure that a 3 dials a 3 and a 0 dials a 0, to sit there and calibrate them. And this is dialed so much, it's insane the numbers that this phone has dialed. But we will. That's the only thing I wish this did. I wish I had a system that I could actually dial extensions. I looked at a a couple of systems for hotels, small multi-line systems, and I really was tempted to pick up some of those, but I didn't. Oh, please don't make an avalanche. Sometimes we make avalanches. Alright, let's get this in here. I actually have a short little cable here that will work for this. We'll go ahead and get this phone out of here. Too many cables getting tangled up on the workbench here. It's okay. It is okay. So this is just a convenient little breakout that you would have in a MDF somewhere, and you can tap your blocks with this and listen on different circuits for troubleshooting and diagnosing a problem locally. And this is made, you know, you'd have this screwed to the wall, and it is made to give you prongs that you can clip a test phone onto. So it's what it's made for. And it also gives you a jack that you can plug into, and I'm going to use this small little jumper here to jump this over. But this will ring as well. And I can, ooh, that's good and loud. Which one is loud? Okay, it's loud this way around. So the microphone on this central office test phone is a nice, good, strong microphone paired with a good, strong speaker in the Model 500's handset. So there's that to disconnect. So you can monitor, you can use this phone momentarily, or you can push and slide to hold. And the one thing I think is really neat to make this smaller, and Western Electric utilized this design in a number of their phones, where here on the 500 the finger stop is stationary, and there is a gap between the finger stop and the one that gives you the motion necessary to deflect the wheel, because you have to deflect the wheel and it actually counts. It doesn't count 5 as I do that. It counts as you release and it goes back. So you have to have room for that initial deflection, and in the Model 500, that's achieved just by having this gap here. But you notice there is no gap. So in this number wheel style, I'm not sure what this device is actually called. I should probably learn its name. The stop moves 1 digit, so that provides the deflection, and then it moves back with the selector. So as I start moving, you'll see it move, and then it stops, and the selector wheel continues to move. Now you can see that there is a slightly larger gap here where it normally rests. So my finger comes on around, and now it stops. And then I release, and it moves back to its resting position. And that just allows them to fit a much smaller dial mechanism. And I love that. And that's really neat. So, but this phone does not ring. You can hear in the earpiece. So I'll hold it up so you can hear what it sounds like when it rings. One more time. So you can use it to verify yes, I hear ring coming through. You know, I'm getting ring current. Because ringing is sent out at, I should get a scope out and scope this. Ring current is sent out at, I say current, but it's, I want to say 90 volts, 50 hertz, something roughly like that. I could have my frequency wrong. But it's fairly, it's like 90, 100 volts. So this doesn't actually have a ringer in it. I was going to use this as my phone out here in the shop. So I got this to make the intercom system between the house and the shop. And I was going to use this phone as my shop intercom phone. But it doesn't ring loud enough for me to hear it. Now, what I can do, I can have this on my workbench and have this phone over on the wall, and this will be the phone that rings. I will hear this phone ring, and I can simply pick up this phone and, you know, answer or place a call. You know, I can always place a call with this if I need to call into the house, and simply have this phone on the wall as my annunciator to let me know if I have an incoming call. So that's probably what we'll do, because I love this thing. Again, it's, you know, property of Western Electric, not for sale, or Bell System. This actually is Bell System property, not for sale, Western Electric. You know, it's just, it has the nice little Bell System logo right there. So that's it. That's the Viking DLE-200B. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Just leave me some comments down below, and if you have any questions, leave those as well, and I will definitely do my best to answer any questions you have. Until next time, this is KJ4 PTD 73.